I hecking love getting scammed, is what the people on Twitter want you to say. Today we're going to be talking about quite possibly maybe the most brain dead take that I've talked about on this entire channel. And that's pretty hard to do considering I've made some videos on some pretty dumb people. But getting right into it, I feel like the best way to start this off is by asking you guys a couple of questions. Starting off with the first one, if you guys are even remotely interested in a product, would you watch a review video? Yes? Okay, good answer. Now next question, do you also enjoy when the product reviewer completely and blatantly lies to you in their review? No? Boo, bad answer, you're stupid. Now with the Twitter brain rot test out of the way, you can probably already see what today's video is gonna be about. So recently, mkbhd or Marques Brownlee has been in a bit of drama over his recent product reviews. And it's not even the typical product review drama where, oh, people are mad at you because you got some of the facts wrong or you just gave it an unfair review. It's quite the opposite. People are mad at him because he told the truth in his reviews. So this whole thing pretty much starts at these two recent reviews that he uploaded on some pretty garbage products. The first and the biggest one being a video that he uploaded titled "The Worst Product I've Ever Reviewed." And before we even get into this Twitter response here, I'm gonna just give you guys a quick rundown and save you the bullshit on what this product even is and what it's supposed to do. So, the product that he's reviewing in this video is the Humane AI Pin. It's a piece of tech that you clip to your shirt, like a pin, I guess in its name, and you're supposed to be able to use this as some sort of like advanced AI assistant. So for example, some of the things you would be able to do with it are obvious things like ask it questions like the weather, how to get directions to somewhere, or to set a timer or something. But basically everyone's phone can already do things like that. So one of the major selling points of this was it also has a camera on the front and it should be able to do more advanced things by looking at your environment. So for example, if you're looking at a sign or something that you can't see that well, you should be able to ask it, hey, what does that sign say? And it should be able to read it off to you. Like you see in a lot of the images of it as well, if you ask it certain questions or tell it to do certain things, it should be able to project an image onto your hand or really whatever other surface you want to put it on. And like you can see in its name, since it is powered by AI, you should be able to ask it more advanced prompts like, oh, what's one of the best attractions to go to in said area? Or what's one of the best restaurants for said food in this specific area? And it should be able to gather the data and give you a fairly accurate recommendation for that. But now that you know what the product is supposed to do, you can probably already tell by my description of it, I use the word should a lot, and that's because everything that it should be able to do, it just either doesn't do at all or it completely blows at doing it. It basically can't do anything right. And when I was talking about some of the like super simple things earlier, like asking for directions and setting a timer, it'll just either get the directions wrong sometimes or not be able to gather them. And for things like the timer, I don't even think it can set a timer. A lot of people were saying that they were trying so hard to focus on like a lot of these super advanced features that they forgot to put in a ton of the basic ones that people actually use, like setting a timer. I'm pretty sure the fucking iPhone 4 version of Siri could set a timer. And that's saying something because she could barely even tell you what time it was to begin with. Now, it might seem like we're only really focusing on the bads of the product, but the thing about it is it's all bad. The things that it does actually get right or can actually gather information on and tell you, it takes painfully long to do it. You can ask the thing what time it is and it'll genuinely take like 10 to 20 seconds to get you the simplest information ever, like the time. It'd be easier and quicker to walk down the street to the fucking clock tower on the side of the church and check the time. But now that we know what this product is all about and have a better understanding on why MKB would leave a bad review of this, we can finally get into the goofy Twitter responses. Starting with this one right here. I find it distasteful, almost unethical, to say this when you have 18 million subscribers. Hard to explain why, but with great reach comes great responsibility. Potentially killing someone else's nascent project reeks of carelessness. First, do no harm. Boy, 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 where do we even start? I am 100% certain that whoever posted this was off of some type of substance. They start off by saying it's distasteful and unethical. What's distasteful and unethical? Telling the truth truth? What's the alternative to this? Just not making the review at all or lying in it? And you can tell that he only really has a problem with him telling the truth and not the contents of the review. Otherwise, he'd be saying, oh, this is a false review. What you said isn't true. Then he immediately goes on to say hard to explain why, and I'm just gonna cut it off right there and toss this in. Maybe it's hard to explain why, because it's fucking wrong. You're giving a wrong shit take. Then he goes on to say potentially killing someone's product like it's Marques's fault that they released a piece of fucking shit. I just truly don't understand what's going through these people's minds. If a company releases a garbage product and then a reviewer reviews the product and calls it garbage in their review and then the product fails, it's not the reviewer's fault. It's the company's fault for making a garbage product. It's honestly crazy how stuff like this has to be explained to some people. But moving on to these people's next biggest argument and their other reason why Marques is brain dead and he's giving horrible reviews is that the product is going to get better in the future. Now, if you have even a percentage of a brain, I'm sure you can already tell what's wrong with that statement. Sure, I have no doubts that this product may potentially get better in the future, but the thing is, they're not selling you the better future version right now. They're selling you what they actually have available to the market, so it's only fair that you make a review on what they actually have available right now to be purchased. And it's also not even like they're charging a much lower price because you're buying it in like a beta or a alpha phase. No, they're charging full premium finished completed product price for this. This fucking thing is $700. So no, for this product right here, they don't necessarily get the privilege to say, oh, but it'll be better in the future, because you're not charging better in the future money for it. You're charging it's a premium product that works as intended right now type money. And speaking of it costing $700, I feel like a lot of these prices for different tech items nowadays are just extremely overinflated. Like there's no way that they thought $700 would be good for this. $700 wouldn't even be a fair price if this did work as intended. And you wanna know why that is? It's because this product pretty much already fucking exists. When I was looking at like a lot of the features of what this thing can allegedly do, I'm just like, dude, if someone already has a smartwatch, why would they need this? It already does everything that this allegedly does, but better, more conveniently, and cheaper. You also won't have to walk around looking like a fucking goober with a square strapped to your chest. It's just truly crazy how people are trying so hard to defend a huge tech company that clearly messed up. Hey, come on guys, leave the big tech company alone. So what that they released a complete piece of shit that doesn't work whatsoever for $700? You aren't supposed to actually give an honest review to them and be mean to them. Just buy the product. It'll get better in the future. Just spend the $700 on it, man. But moving on, this also isn't the only review that people were pissed at Marques Brownlee for. The next one was his video titled Rabbit R1, barely reviewable. And before I even get into it, I'm gonna just come out and say I'm not even gonna waste your guys' time explaining what this product is, because I think it's basically the exact same thing as the last one, but just a bit different. So just by saying that alone, you can probably already tell how his review was on this, and by the title, you can also probably tell it was horrible. But like everything else in this video, it was of course followed up by brain dead Twitter takes, and we're gonna be taking a look at this one right here that says, if mkbhd decided his initial videos were barely reviewable, instead of posting and iterating, would he be where he is today? Now, as much as I want to quickly point out everything wrong with this take, Marques actually responded to this himself and said it honestly the best way he could have. Good thing I never charged anybody for those videos. And there you go, that's the answer right there. He completely shut it down. Now, the Rabbit R1 isn't quite as expensive as the Humane AI thing or whatever they were calling it, but it doesn't change the idea that these people are comparing a company charging $250 for a product that does not work as intended and is just objectively garbage to a kid uploading 100% free videos to YouTube. I just truly don't understand it. As much as we talk about stupid people on Twitter on this channel, it just constantly surprises me how dumb they actually can be. Out of genuinely everything ever to defend, you're defending a huge tech company that's pushing actual unfinished garbage at a premium price. But who knows, that's just my take. Maybe I'm just out of the loop. Maybe there's something I'm not understanding understanding about paying $700 for a product that's just completely unfinished, nor does it do what it's promised at all. But with that said, actually, before I even let y'all go, if you're in full screen mode, exit full screen, and I want to test something out. Look at like the two buttons that you know I'm going to tell you to look at, and tell me if they start glowing when I say this. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, and make sure to drop a like. I didn't even know this was a new feature, but I noticed on some of the channels that the buttons fucking glow when people say that. I don't know, that was just super cool to me. If they actually lit up, tell me in the comments, because I don't know if it's like a certain thing that you gotta have like a certain amount of subs or what to say it. But with that said, I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, so I'll catch you guys in the next one.